I'm Steve Caverneau on behalf of ExpertVillage, here today to talk to you about building a character. Now we're going to divide characters into two different categories. Dynamic and static. So, let's define these. Dynamic is something that changes. You can hear like sound dynamics. Something starts out slow and then it gets really loud. And that is an example of dynamic. Static is more of a monotone, so it just keeps on going at the same pace and it never really changes. So in a play, we can apply these principles to characters. Let's take a dynamic character, Claudius, the villain. He basically always wants to look out for himself. I mean, there's even a moment where he's praying, but he's praying for his own salvation. He's not guilty about what he's done. He just doesn't want to go to hell. And there are other characters that stay the same. Osric, basically just he stays the same as he is. Whereas the dynamic characters in the play, Laertes is a good example of this. Laertes is doing Claudius's bidding for the whole play, and then when he's finally poisoned, he realizes that he's tricked. He says, the king's to blame. And at that point, he changes his outlook on things. So that makes him a dynamic character. At the end, he asks Hamlet's forgiveness. And so at this point, Laertes makes a turnaround in his intentions, in his outlook on the way things have happened. And that makes him a dynamic character. Whereas Hamlet actually becomes a dynamic character when he decides to take revenge on his uncle's death. But after that point, he basically stays on the same course. And then at the end, he basically gives his life for it. So in this way, we can find different ways. Does your character change? Do they stay the same? It's not necessarily a bad thing to have a static character. You need static characters in the play, but also to create drama, you need characters who realize things, who change their outlook on things. That way, you can have a varied cast of characters. People that believe one thing and change their beliefs. That's drama. That's where we get those enlightening moments.